Give us a sports car or any sort of a performance car and we are definitely going to have a lot of fun pushing it with every gear change and every turn of the steering wheel. But these kind of cars are designed to deliver that amount of fun. With monster performance and very well-balanced chassis, these are basically entertainment on wheels. The hatchbacks, on the other hand, they're designed for mostly mundane city runs and stuff like that. But who says that you cannot have fun with small and very cute hatchbacks? That's exactly what we have been having. A lot of fun with these two hatchbacks. One is it's an absolute superstar of the hatchback space, the Maruti Suzuki Swift. And this one is a very interesting sort of a machine. It is, of course, a little bit grown up and it's a little high-riding thing. It is the Ford Freestyle. Why do I think that the Freestyle is an interesting product in the hatchback space? That is because Ford has introduced this car in a segment which essentially is quite dull at the moment and hasn't really picked up pace for any of the manufacturers that have played the game in that category for some time now actually. Be it Volkswagen with the Cross Polo or Hyundai with the i20 Active, their crossover products which are based on the regular hatchbacks haven't really taken to the market by storm. But Ford thinks there is an opportunity still in this segment, and that's why you see the Freestyle based on the Figo hatchback. But the only difference is that it has a little bit of a greater ground clearance and there are some additional mechanical changes which we'll get to in some time. And the less I say about the Maruti Suzuki Swift, the better it is. Because when it was launched in the mid-2000s, the Swift created a massive history which was not really seen before it. The only car that could probably come close to the kind of popularity and the success that Swift established was the Zen and the original 800. It was, of course, ridiculed for the oddball shape, but the entire package was so tight and compelling that the Swift's success story was already written in the automotive history books. Now, the Swift has received a completely new generational upgrade. The platform is different and the entire cabin packaging as well has received a complete overhaul. It looks a lot funkier, and as a friend of mine, Sam, has pointed out to me while we were driving the cars together, it looks a lot younger than every other product in this segment. Enough with the talking. Now we are going to get behind the wheel and see which car is what. I've always liked all black interiors. They give an element of sportiness to the cabin, and that's my way of looking at things. So you, of course, can deviate from my perspective and say that you like the beige and all the fancy, brighter shades on the inside. But for me, for a car like the Swift, all black makes a lot of sense because the cabin reflects the excitement that the car offers, not only in terms of the driving experience, but also the overall execution of the design on the outside. It is a very funky looking car. It's a very young looking car. And yes, the all black treatment of the cabin is pretty much in sync with the nature of what the Swift offers. In terms of features, I think Maruti has done a decent job of loading it up with all the expected features that cars in this segment offer. So you get, of course, airbags, ABS, and all sorts of entertainment options, Bluetooth connectivity and stuff like that. You also get a fantastic steering wheel. It's a flat bottom steering wheel, so there is the extension of fun and spirited driving, which gets reflected also in the steering wheel, because the entire treatment of flat bottom is essentially associated with performance cars and spirited driving. So yeah, there you have it. The interior of the Ford Freestyle is not extremely impressive. I particularly do not like the dual tone treatment. There is brown, a very dirty sort of a brown at the top half of the dashboard, and then of course it is dominated by an all black treatment, which is pretty alright. But that brown just looks a little foul, and even the overall sort of quality levels are they're quite good. But they're still a little bit less than the segment best. The rear seat is not really up to my comfort level. The front is pretty alright. I have to, however, point out that the screen over here, the infotainment screen, it does not really please you in a very natural way. It looks like the entire UI is essentially like a PowerPoint presentation from the early 2000s. So yeah, that is something that Ford could have done better. The overall UI experience from the screen is not really all that great. This is the same trusty old 1.2 litre petrol that we have seen for a long time on any of the Maruti Swift offerings, and yeah, it hasn't really changed much in the way of power delivery or the way it feels behind the wheel. It just is a very happy motor which likes to rev and likes to rev really hard at that. So when you get in a very playful mood, the engine is going to be as playful as you want it to be. And in terms of dynamics, there is a little bit of firmness from the suspension, but that aids the handling in a very big way. So you can go around the corners in a very confident manner. But of course, there is going to be that slight bit of trade-off when you talk about ride comfort. It is not really all that firm. It is not really uncomfortable. But of course, there is a little bit of stiffness that you will experience. And you will experience it for the better, because the experience and the kind of entertainment that you're going to have around the corners, yeah, that's something that the trade-off is going to be worth it. And mark my words, this is a good, fun car to throw around. The Freestyle's engine always feels a little labored, and the moment you get out of its comfort zone of the mid-range, which is about 3000 to 4500, 5000 RPM, not even 5 actually, 4500 RPM, the moment you cross that, it becomes very difficult for it to stretch its legs, and it feels really stressed. But for regular city use and for trundling along on the highways at a decent clip, a comfortable speed, this thing can do pretty fairly. But in terms of excitement, yeah, it's not really up there, and it does not complement the capable chassis that the Freestyle has, and it does have a very capable chassis. Despite of the increase in ride height, it dives into the corners in a very spirited manner. The steering response and the feedback is pretty decent as well. So the engine, of course, could have done better by having a bit more communicative feel, and the chassis, as I said, is fairly decent. So in terms of ride quality and the dynamic balance, the Freestyle is not a bad car at all. I must confess, this is the first time that I'm driving the new Swift. And I must also confess that I'm loving it to the core. It retains that intricate element of fun that the original Swift had. And the entire character and the personality hasn't really changed dramatically over all these years, right from the mid 2000s to now in 2018. That element of fun is still there, deeply ingrained in the DNA of the Maruti Suzuki Swift, and that is exactly what has made it a special car in the hatchback space. And I'm just loving it, as I said, and it's a very good fun car to have. As a hatchback, you would expect that it's a practical car, and it is. It has actually grown on the inside a little bit, so it has pushed the practicality quotient a little bit further, and overall the quality levels have also gone up, so you get a nicer cabin, a more pleasant experience when you're sitting in the cabin. But I have never addressed the Swift as a proper point A to point B family hatchback. I have always thought of the Swift as a fun, personal fun car for any driving enthusiast. And I am so happy to say that the Swift does not disappoint over here. It has a curb weight which is on the lighter end of the segment. It is under 900 kilograms, and that too with the automatic, or not really the automatic, it's actually an automated manual that we are driving over here. And the weight saving really shines for a car of this nature because the power rating hasn't really gone up substantially. It is about 83 horsepower, and that 83 horsepower does come through with all the energy because the car is so nimble and so light. So from behind the wheel, the driving experience is beautiful. I was very surprised by how good the Swift feels in the back compared to the Freestyle. As I said, the seats aren't really all that great, but one peculiar issue with the Freestyle is that the footwell, the moment you sit on the back and you try to slide your feet under the front seat, that point really hits your shin in a very awkward manner, and it can get really uncomfortable. So you can't really put or slide your feet under the front seat when you're sitting at the back, which you can in the Swift, and that really does not have any hindrance of sorts. So that is one very peculiar issue that I thought will not really be the case with the Freestyle, because it sort of looks large and it gives an appearance of being a big car. So you expect a lot more space to essentially play around with in the back, which is not the case. What I enjoy about hatchbacks that offer good amount of fun is that they can be exploited to their maximum potential. They don't really offer huge amounts of horsepower like 200, 300, 400 horsepower or something like that, but the horsepower level is sufficient for you to really experience what the car is all about in its mechanical glory. And I think the two cars that we have over here in this comparison test, they exemplify our intent, and they prove that you really don't need to have a huge pocket and huge horsepower to have good amount of fun from behind the wheel. So two cars that are absolutely different in their personalities, but what a cracking good time we have had driving both of them. The Ford Freestyle is of course a very interesting proposition in the overall operating spectrum of the hatchbacks. It is essentially a Figo which is raised up from the ground a little bit more, but the Swift is a completely different and an absolutely impressive machine. It is of course a very good looking car now, and because it's not only a lot, but it is scarcely believable and absolutely laughable, 160 kilograms lighter than the Freestyle, and that makes the Swift that much more entertaining to drive. It feels a lot more connected when you're doing the high-speed stuff, and you should do the high-speed stuff because it is a very entertaining car. Even on the inside, the cabin is fairly decent. It is, of course, dominated by all black theme, but there is decent amount of space. The seats are excellent, especially the front ones actually. And overall, the Swift just makes such a strong case for itself, and that is exactly why it has been a winner ever since it was launched. In this one also, there needs to be just one winner, and that is the Swift.